Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Trigger Season 2. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Adam Jack Skellington, mother of corporations. Furman.
That is probably the best introduction I've ever received, actually.
Well, I'm glad. I'm here to, That was your entire payback for watching the house while I was gone. That's all
You're
you
welcome.
get. That intro. That was it.
Oh, no. At least did a can.
No, sorry. I put a lot into that.
the past 12 seconds.
Yeah. It was all planned out as soon as
I'm
I
sure it
started
was.
saying it. And we're coming to you live from the surveillance van outside of every home in America.
It's great.
Yes, the title of tonight's episode is Nothing to Hide, Nothing to Fear.
Oh, there you go.
But we'll get into that. But first, from the Scanner Radio.
What number are you at, Zach?
Scanner Radio. I was getting pumped up with good.
You saw no like this.
Misa no like us. From the Scanner Radio, 740 Country Club Heights, male lying in the grass. QFD and EMS en route again.
Oh man,
This was just after. This was just after the episode last week. At 10:42 p.m. We had another grass-laying gentleman.
Yeah, man, we've got hot boy summer this summer. just people laying in the grass.
Yeah.
Males specifically.
No fights.
Nope.
No like fight violence. It's all chill dudes laying in the grass.
And then they get cops and fire departments called on them.
Yeah, and maniacs.
Oh my
god. From the inbox, about 4:30 p.m. between Marblehead and Hannibal, exit off of 172. Crazy driver tailgating super close to a black Honda. Black Honda passed semi on eastbound corner. Silver SUV throwing items at black car and backed off about 50 feet and then proceeded to hit the black Honda, sending it a tad sideways at interstate speed. Silver SUV, possibly a Kia, then proceeded off the Hannibal-bound exit, flipping off, throwing beer cans at black Honda as the Honda pulls out over to shoulder. Anybody see or have updates of this? Seen it happen firsthand. I tried to help the black car get license plate number, but the crazy SUV slammed on brakes, and we had to swerve around, and I couldn't get a pick. I couldn't remember 5 numbers.
It's 7. And there's letters.
It could have been a vanity plate.
Yeah.
It just said mash it. And they're like, woo! Beer cans thrown at my silver Kia. Mash it, brother! Yeah!
Oh yeah. Oh, vanity plates, the worst or the best, depending on what.
Prayers to black car as hopefully the nutcase in the silver Kia gets caught. Good job to car saving it sideways in interstate to avoid innocent people. And attempted murder. Well, I guess this could be attempted murder. That sounds more like reckless homicide if someone had died.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with road rage. You might get a crossbow to the chest.
Oh, that is 100% accurate. Man shot in the head found in Quincy Alley.
Oh my
A
gosh.
man was found with a bullet wound to his head in a Quincy Alley around 7 Friday morning. Let's see. I believe it was reported in the scanner comments that he was still just paralyzed. So, small miracles. Nearby residents told police they heard a commotion around 30:30 a.m., but they did not report it.
Yeah, apathy.
So, chill dudes laying in the grass, maniacs on the highway trying to murder people, and literal gun violence in the streets.
Yeah, well, it can't be. Well, maybe it could be execution style. I mean, shoot.
Maybe it was maybe like 22, because I always heard that, the mobsters, they use the 22 to assassinate people. Because they put it right in their head, and then the bullet bounces around your brain, turns it into moosh. But I don't know. I've never shot anybody with a 22 caliber bullet.
I don't know. Me either. Hey, you see the Irishman?
Yeah, I don't remember.
De Niro comes just right up. Hey, what's up? That's it.
Huh?
You need to watch the movie again.
No. He only killed one guy.
Oh, okay. Get out of here. Didn't just kill one guy.
Yeah, that's like the whole movie. He killed that one guy.
The whole movie is how he is a hitman.
No, it's about
it's
about his relationship with
his daughter,
Jimmy Hoffa, and how they were close friends. But in the end of the day, he had to do what was right,
which was murder
for the organization. And so he killed the one guy, the whole movie.
Oh, you're dumb or evil right now.
That's all I remember. That's all I remember. Maybe it's because I've been infected with the Lambda variant. Oh, Adam, did you notice? Ooh, look how new and streamlined we are for season 2.
What?
You can't tell me that you haven't noticed the revolutionary differences, the changes that we've made for season 2. Adam, look at the screen. It's right there.
I'm seeing the screen.
We're on the other side.
Yes, I see it.
Before we were on the other side.
Oh my gosh, it's so new.
Breaking news. New variants of the coronavirus are out. Get your DLC today. Like the Delta variant, Lambda is highly infectious and thought to be more resistant to vaccines. Lambda. The Tri-Lambs. Revenge of the Nerds strikes again. Start watching 80s movies even harder than I have been lately.
Oh, yeah.
80s, early 90s. Anything with a hard R from that time period. Hands down. There's also
what?
There's also the Delta Plus variant that's going around, and I don't know the difference between
I'm subscribed to that. I have that as a streaming platform.
I believe that DLC is free. It's just like a new skin. It's a new skin for your virus. comes free with your third vaccine.
And your $300.
No, they pay you that. Oh, you meant like because I got my third shot and each was $100.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I wonder how that project's going in New York. No news after that was announced. Program had to be immediately halted due to safety concerns. Some people exploiting the system for extra cash. Let's see, we got stuff going on in the chat. Fuzzy says, "Let's go! I might not have much time left." Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Max Sherman Brown says, "Someone's been drinking more than usual." I don't like to brag. So I won't.
Pinky out.
I don't know what's up with all these variants and whatever. I don't know. I'm not paying any attention to it. That's how they get you. If you know what it is, then it gets you, and then it murders you. So, ignorance is actually salvation when it comes to new variants of the coronavirus. See, because if you can stare it in the eye and look at it as it's coming at you, the sheer force and power of it could rattle you to your very core like an AR-15.
Oh, no.
This was apparently reported. Well, the pistol was manageable, even comfortable to hold and fire. The rifle was a different beast altogether. Everything about it, its weight, tactical scope, and overall lethality was downright intimidating. The fact that the first magazine refused to click into place didn't help either, further unnerving me. What if I just broke a $3,500 rifle? The fresh magazine worked just fine, though, and after loading it, I sent the target out to 15 yards. That's right, I'm shooting at this AR-15 rifle, shooting .223 at a target 15 yards away. When ready, I lined up the target in the crosshairs, pulled the stock into my shoulder, squeezed the trigger, and boom! It's difficult to describe the impact, physical and personal, of that first
Student of Tolstoy.
It felt like a meteor had struck the earth in front of me. A deep shockwave coursed through my body. The recoil rippling through my arms and right shoulder with astounding power. Being that close to an explosion of such magnitude, controlled and focused as it was, it rattled me. I composed myself and continued to fire round after concussive round. The puffs of acrid gunpowder smoke carried downrange by a powerful ventilation system. My accuracy gradually improved until it became easier to hit the target with the rifle from 25 yards than with the pistol from 5. It was exhilarating, but I never got comfortable firing it. I'm not sure what scared me more, the power of that weapon or the fact that I could have taken one home that very day.
Why would that scare him? He's about to go on a rampage, isn't he?
Yes. Yes, that guy sounds like a maniac. Not just by dramatic reading. He sounds like he was getting off.
I know. It's like, and then he handed her $50, right?
Yeah. He's like, oh, woof, oh gosh, oh.
Oh, that's. And then everyone else on the train is just staring him down like, oh my gosh.
Everyone's like, what is wrong with that guy?
It's like, sir, you need to get this back from me.
Oh, Fred asks if it is the same jack-off reporter who said he got PTSD from firing an AR. No, it sounds like this guy got something else from firing it. This was probably one of my favorite replies to this post. Funny, I went to an indoor range 2 weeks ago, shot an AR-15 and felt almost no recoil. Asking honestly, are you made entirely of cotton? He's just blowing in the wind.
He's a plush thing. He's just like...
Oh, silly. Just silly.
I don't remember any recoil using that firearm.
I don't know. It was like a meteor hitting the ground in front of him.
No, absolutely not. When my wife was pregnant with the twins, she shot it. No recoil.
She's just more of a man than that guy.
The guy was a baby.
I don't know. Like I said,
he's read too many poems. I'll just say that.
Some people were talking about what has he wait until he fires a 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh my gosh.
It literally blew me through the wall. It was like someone had strapped a rocket to my chest and blasted me. I flew through 6 feet of drywall, no stopping in sight, until I turned and fired the gun in the opposite direction to end my acceleration. I lost all function of the right side of my body.
He's stroked out.
The recoil! It was too much for even this hardened gunfighter. Oh. Difficult to make sense of it. I think he was, like you said, he read too many poems. He was taking a bit of artistic license with his experience there.
Yeah. He wanted to write a book, and he couldn't. He said, I'll show them.
No, and like, like Fred mentioned, periodically I see these drop. And it's some reporter, and I don't understand it, and they pick up an AR-15, and then they describe it to, like, the readers in big city America. They're like, oh my lands, these guns are just sold right off the rack. It could literally cause the earth to erupt in fire and brimstone. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. We better do something about this. It's so scary. The scariest part was that I could have taken it home today. Have this much power in my own hands. The power of life and death.
Yeah, and I don't know. For some reason that one cost $3,500.
Yeah, I don't know. Power of life and death. As I drive home at 80 miles an hour in my SUV.
You hanging out the window with it?
No, just like people don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand why people are so afraid of guns. And just like a particular kind of gun.
Yeah, it's only that one.
It's only the AR-15. It's like this boogeyman. It's strange to me. It's like that guy's like, I could take this dangerous thing home today. And I'm like, yeah, you could drive your SUV through an outdoor market today. What are you talking about? If you were a maniac in your bed, you could make bike bombs in your garage and blow up a grade school today. It's not. I don't know what you're talking about. That has nothing to do with the AR-15. That's people are dangerous and insane.
What is that? Gas is cheap.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Joker. It's like my appetites, don't cost a lot of money. And so he said that that's when he burned that big pile of cash because he was just like
Yeah.
wanted just to take it from the mob, just to be a crazy chaos guy.
Yeah.
I want so bad for somebody on like a news interview that's like in-person news interview, and they're like a pro 2A person or whatever, and then like the lily-livered liberal interviewing him is just like, oh, but the guns, they're so dangerous. And I want to look him straight in the eye and say, hey, the only thing keeping me from jumping across this desk and strangling you to death before anybody could stop me is a loosely understood social contract that says murder is wrong and bad. People are dangerous all the time. They don't need a gun to kill you. They could have a rock in their pocket and just be insane. And you could just be on the subway one day and they pull it out and they just bludgeon you to death right there. You can't. If you want to live in a place where people exist, people are going to commit murders and you can't do anything about it. You take your life into your hands every time you go outside. This is why people have agoraphobia. I think they realize this one day, and they just can't get okay with it. And they're just like, I don't know.
It's like
There's so many dangerous things in the world, and for whatever reason,
people treat agoraphobics like they're on the wrong, but they just actually know the
they
truth.
know.
They understand
They
it.
see it all.
They understand it.
Are you serious? There's people driving like 45 with a 5,000-pound vehicle. They can just. I'm just walking on the sidewalk, no barrier next to these guys flying past me. One moment of lost focus. One guy just saying, "I'm just gonna hit
You don't
this
even
person."
need that. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
did.
I remember when we just started law school. There was a guy who went on like I-90 or I-88 or something the wrong way, throwing cash out the window because he was insane. Trying to, I don't know, flirting with death,
Yeah, dude.
flirting with disaster.
I don't get it. I'm one of the insane people that sees all the dangerous stuff and is just like, whatever you're gonna do. And there's some people that see all the dangerous stuff and then they say, oh my gosh, cocooned. I can no longer interact with the world. And then there's strange people that don't understand that focus on one particular thing. And then they say that it's people with AR-15 assault rifles. Those are the dangerous ones. They could kill up to 20 people. Don't get it. Hey, if any of you can explain to me why this makes sense to anybody, please comment below in the chat.
I don't know, man.
No, my mind.
Do your own research, Zach.
I need to offload that onto other people. That's the work they need to do. Oh, jeez, crazy. Oh, what else did I say? Diversity and inclusion has met its match. The meritocracy.
Oh. Oh, no.
Let's see what we got here. Washington. The Navy could include service photos in promotion packets again, after data suggested that minorities are less likely to be selected blindly in some situations by promotion review boards, the service chief of personnel said Tuesday. Diversity among leadership dropped after photos were removed last year from Navy promotion packages. Vice Admiral John Noel said during a panel discussion on diversity and inclusion at the Navy League's Sea Air Space Conference. Sea Air Space Conference. Space Force, is that under the Navy then, I'm guessing? Maybe?
I thought it was well, I mean, I don't know. Is
Air
the Marine
Force?
Corps underneath the Navy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
I know
we
it's
should
I
consider
know it's a
it.
corps and not an ar. And I know it's not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They have a close relationship with the Navy. I don't know.
Space Force would be close with the Air Force. I would imagine. It's its own separate branch. It's not like the U.S. Army Air Force, where it's like a wing of or a separate part of the Army.
So Space Force is like fourth branch then, fifth or whatever,
Sixth.
19th branch.
Sixth. It's the Mars Expeditionary Force.
The Undersea Force, the Subterranean Force
Ooh, there we go. Subterranean Force.
that someone might
For
need
the
to send
mines of-
down into a mine and or pit of some kind.
I was thinking of the Mines of Callisto, but
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think we should consider reinstating photos and selection boards, he said. We look at, for instance, the one-star board over the last 5 years, and we can show you where, as you look at diversity, it went down with photos removed. So this is how I understand this to go down. Military promotion processes were in the interest of promoting or limiting implicit bias in the promotion boards, were anatomizing the files of the people that were up for promotion. So you probably wouldn't see necessarily a name or a photograph,
Right.
explicitly in this case, so that you wouldn't have your negative implicit biases triggered, so that you would be prejudiced against the minority candidates, because it is believed that, based on, I believe, one or two studies that I've heard about, the resume studies, that a hiring manager, when they are given information about perhaps the nationality, ethnicity, or race of the person, or the gender, etc., that then they select against the minorities unconsciously.
Subconscious. Unconsciously.
I don't know. Is that unsubconsciously? There were some resume studies done where identical application materials were sent out. The only thing changed on it was the name, and it was given like an ethnic name. I don't know. And like a really white guy sounded name.
Yeah, they never. When you what do you mean by ethnic name? And they're like, you know, and like that's
Rashid.
it.
I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like, what do you mean? And they're like, you know, and I'm like, oh, I don't. That's
You know, like all those black guys named Malik. Malik Smith
I don't know.
versus John Jones. John Jones, a famous black UFC fighter. I think he just got a title shot, actually. So, I don't know. What's in a name, frankly? But anyway, the study showed that...
John Jones is like your stereotype. It's like I'm going to write a story, and I don't know what the name is. It's just John Jones.
Yeah. Generic stand-in guy, John Jones. He could be any race. It doesn't matter. But anyway.
He can be any age.
Yeah, for real. But so the study showed that there was a correlation between ethnic sounding name and not being selected in this otherwise identical process. However, it sounds like the armed forces ran their ran their own little experiment here, and it turns out that actually it seems as though there was a biased selection happening, but it was in favor of minorities against the white folk. And by removing the trigger, the picture or the name of the people, and so you could see that they were women or black people or whatever, that they were actually selecting fewer of those. And some people were saying that it's because people were trying to make like the connection. They said, it just goes to show you that those minorities just ain't as good. They ain't as good as us white boys in the army. Yeah. No, that doesn't mean that. It might mean that, but we don't have the information for that. It just might mean that there was a bias in favor of, and so then there would be a reduction of, not necessarily because of a lack of competition or what have you, but because of over selection prior to, because of a bias in favor of a minority or whatever. And I like this. It's a meritocracy, so we need pictures. Nah. This is just evidence that they're going to be selecting based on race against the law.
Yeah.
I don't know how these. That's my whole beef with all the diversity, equity, inclusion stuff at work and things. It's like, it's illegal. I don't know how you could get away with this.
No.
You're instituting hiring preferences based on race.
Yeah, and as far as what I can tell from the legal landscape is that there's an uptick in lawsuits brought by both in like today's world, lawsuits brought both by minority groups and by majority groups suing the same company like the exact same time because of racial discrimination, either based off of a lackluster application of their diversity and inclusion program. It's just words. You're not doing anything. And then straight up, wait a second, you're implementing preferences based on race in employment factors, and so that's illegal under Title VII. Here's Your Honor. Here's Exhibit A, June 14th, 2020 statement saying that they are a racist company.
Yeah, we are a racist company, and we must do better to hire more oppressed BIPOCs.
Yeah, and then there's like the single lawyer representing all the ethnic groups. Just being like, he's like, I don't know, what are you gonna do? Here's a company. You start saying that they've been intentionally racially discriminating in the past, and then to remedy that, they're going to further racially discriminate in the future, but the other way. And it's just, you're exchanging.
I just want to hear those depots.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I just we wanted to do a press release.
HR manager. Isn't it true that you drafted a press release dated June 19th, 2021? Yes, I did. Isn't it true that in that press release the company admitted that it had been racist? Yeah, literally, that's exactly what it says. Yeah. All right, case closed. Just go home. How fast can we settle these cases? There are thousands of them. I was going
to say, we previously offered to settle this case for $500,000, but now we're looking at $5 million.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
No.
It's insane. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they feel like they can gain more boons from appealing to that crowd than they'll have to pay in EEOC fines and in employment violation settlements.
And the EEOC, from what I've learned in school, they don't care. They'll if they've got like if they're sniffing around and they got an inkling, they'll open up an investigation and then file suit on your uh,
Yeah.
ASAP.
In general, I don't know. Maybe they'll say, we've decided to prioritize advancing the cause of certain groups over other. Oh, wait a minute. That might be an equal protection violation.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not. It's enforcement priorities. We'll pull this out of old Obama's playbook.
That's what you'll get. You'll get.
But this has been popping up every now and again. We had another case study here. The same thing happens in tech. 4 years ago, Electron Conf did a blind selection process for speakers, thinking it would improve diversity, but ended up with all men and had to cancel in shame. Oh, sad, sad, sad.
In shame.
In shame. People had a hypothesis. Gender bias was causing women to be underrepresented in hiring and talk selection, so blinding should fix it. When blinding failed to fix it and in fact made it worse, did people adjust their priors? Lol, of course not. It wasn't a crazy idea. Blind auditions famously did result in a more gender egalitarian orchestra tryout process, for example, another case where it was shown to aid in removing certain biases the wrong way. It just didn't work in tech because bias wasn't actually the problem. In fact, the bias that exists is in favor of women. Not an isolated result. It keeps happening again and again. So, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. You can have different biases impacting. This is what buck wild, Adam. I don't want to tell you, but the world isn't a cookie-cutter place where one thing that applied to one situation doesn't apply universally to all situations. There are complicated underlying factors and cultures associated with different industries, businesses, and individual participants in those businesses that might impact those results when applied to them. Strange. Who'd have thunk?
Maybe.
Nope. Everybody's sexist and racist. And this just proves it further, Adam. It proves it further. It's so deep ingrained in their minds that they even do it when they don't know that they're discriminating against them.
They even do it when they're trying not to.
Dumb. Also dumb. This breaking news. Breaking news! Breaking news! Apple plans to continuously scan the iPhones of U.S. users for child abuse imagery. The system, dubbed Neural Match, would alert human reviewers if it believes illegal imagery is detected. That's correct. You heard it here, folks. Apple, if you've got an iPhone, and I'm guessing an iPad or any sort of iDevice, including an iDesktop or laptop.
And an iMac.
Wasn't that from
iMac
like
Air?
1998 iMac computer? They're going to patch it with some spyware. iSpyware. And they're going to say, I spy with my little eye some child pornography on your phone. And then they're going to call the cops. Which, you might say, okay, well, I have mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because on the one hand.
Oh, yes. Apple explains how iPhones will scan photos for child abuse images. They go into detail in this article, and they talk about how it uses some sort of document hash system based on a data set that they receive from I don't know, some watchdog group or some government agency. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, and then the software will scan all of the media on your device and search for a file that matches that hash signature. Which I don't know entirely how that works. Because my understanding...
Oh, are they, go ahead. It sounds like they're the hash signature, like they've marked certain files, so they're trying to crack down on like the spread of it, not necessarily if you take a picture of your kid in the bath.
I don't know. That's what I don't understand is the way that I understand hash. It's like a crypto thing, blockchain stuff, and I'm not entirely sure, but basically, it's like the serial number for a file on the internet, and it's how you know that it's an authentic file is if its hash, encryption hash matches, and it's not something that you can fake. If one bit is different between the thing that you want to get and the thing that is there to download, for example, it will create an entirely different hash because of the way that it is extrapolated.
So they're getting the hash files from the FBI or some government agency, giving them the hash files,
giving them the numbers. You also cannot reverse engineer it. It's just, this is like the 15-digit code that comes out of this thing based on encryption.
That's okay. So that's what it sounds like, is that they're scanning it for something that for some reason or another that the government agencies have determined is a file of child sexual.
Yes. I mean, I don't know, because the only thing that I can imagine this would work with...
And that's like traded on the internet.
Yes, would be a particularly prevalent and widespread or seeded, I'd say, because you could probably do that if you're the FBI or whatever, images of child pornography or what have you that have a particular hash. They've identified these. And now if you run these hash scans on a phone and you find it, then you know that they've got it's the marked bag, it's the bills with the serial numbers lined up or whatever from their bank robbery, and they can say that they got it. But I mean, like,
not your picture of the kid in the bath. Grandma took a picture, and
doesn't sound like that's what they're doing yet. They're not like doing some sort of like Google image search of whatever facial recognition things.
Yeah.
This is a naked child. Flagged. But at the same time, it is doing that. I don't think this is the whole story. Anyway, because if they just use the hashes, like I said, small modifications. So, like, if there is a particularly prevalent thing out there, and I don't know if these sickos pass around or whatever, then all they'd have to do is, like, change anything about it, and the hash would be completely different. This is no longer that it doesn't match anymore or what have you. So I don't know how effective just using the hashes would be to identifying like widespread thing. It would only catch particular seeded or known files, those sorts of things. There was another aspect of it related to Messenger where it would send an alert if you were going to be sending or receiving something that is illegal. Like for a child using the Messenger system. I don't know. You got 13-year-olds sexting or whatever it is. And it says, nope, you're not allowed to. We looked at your naked picture and we saw there was a naked picture of you. And we know you're a minor. So it's not going anywhere, buddy. So, I don't know. It sounds like what...
That's what they're doing?
It sounds like what it is doing is actually then using some sort of algorithmic... picture viewing software to identify these things, in addition to whatever the hash system is or the thing that they're promoting it as. And so, yeah, you might say, well, I've got mixed feelings about that because, that's, I don't like perverts and pedos So, let's get those guys. That's good. I'm part of Q. QAnon. You don't know me. I'm a secret. My face is blacked out. My voice has been modified. But at the same time, that's like, whoa. Do you think they could, like, I don't know, have it set to identify firearms? Hey, let's identify everybody who's got a gun. We can tell our algorithm to find all those pictures. And now we've identified everybody who's taken a picture of themselves with a gun and probably has a gun. And now we can make a list. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe, they've got a cross on their shirt or what have you. They're wearing a crucifix around their neck.
Yeah.
We've identified the Christians. Let's get them. Or they can do other things, like the algorithm can be very clever and it can pick up on subtle stuff, like I saw the other day. AI looking at chest x-rays and nothing else can identify the race of the individual with like a 90% accuracy, just looking at an x-ray of like someone's chest cavity. So they can pick up on subtle things using like deep learning technology. And it can do all sorts of stuff. So, like, I don't know, it could go the other way. It's like all of a sudden we've got a shift and everybody's against the gays again or whatever. We're going to persecute them. Oh, bad. And so then we can use this algorithm to find out who's gay or a gay sympathizer. Put them on a list. I don't know. And it's fine because it's a private corporation doing it, I guess. I don't know. I don't like any of it. But.
Or, what if it's not the private corporation doing it on their own free will? Or if they are doing it on their own free will, and then government comes knocking, says, hey.
Black SUVs parked up front of your house. It's brand new. Guy stands at your door. He's got a buzz cut and dark glasses on. He's 6'2", about 280. Hi, I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'm taking a survey on your household.
No, call the local police. They'll get that ATF agent out of your hair really quickly.
So I like this comment. Hey guys, how can we frame total surveillance over a user's data in a light that maybe won't upset the public? It's okay, guys. We're just getting the pedos. I don't know. I mean, I don't like those guys. Maybe it's okay. Oh, wait, you're going to turn this on me, aren't you? Ooh, you shifty big tech ho. I knew it was too good to be true. Oh, my gosh, we're running out of time already. Buckling down. Edward Snowden.
me buckling down.
Ed Snowden himself is commenting on this.
Yes.
And he puts this spicy meme, and it's the Chad Sheba from Apple 2015. He says, "We locked the FBI out of a dead terrorist's phone to protect your privacy. That's how much we care." Apple 2021 said, crying, the Virgin Sheba. "We compare your photo roll on iCloud with the government blacklist and call the cops about it. We also tell Mom about your iMessages. No privacy ever. We're listening to this conversation right now." Can't wait to pick up.
This is a public video.
I can't wait to pick up that diesel fuel and ammonium nitrate at our afternoon down at the river.
Do you know my friend Timothy McVeigh?
Oh, Tim McVeigh. Ah, yes, good man. Oh, but I mean,
His lawyer talked to us about that, but whatever.
He did, didn't he? Oh, all right. Let's talk about this. I mean, that's fine. Government, they're restricted, Adam. The government's restricting what it can do because if you didn't know this, the Constitution exists. Mic drop. So, After worry about too much. Whatever a company's going to do, people will probably just buy fewer iPhones now. They'll know. Big tech, they're not looking out for you. But the old good guy government, including Uncle Joe Biden himself, got our back because they have to, because it's the job of the Constitution to keep them in line. They would never do anything like take ultra powers outside of what the Constitution permits, or say even what a court has ordered them not to do, and do that anyway, would they? That sounds outrageous.
Well, they do it all the time, Zach. How do you not know this?
President Biden's extension of the eviction moratorium is unconstitutional, and he knows it. You may not have heard this, but the CDC, some year ago, put in place a regulation saying that, we're going to put these evictions on hold, friend, and you can't kick your renters out just because they can't pay your rent. We're in a pandemic, don't you know? And so they did that. No one could get evicted just because they couldn't pay rent. And some people were paying rent, and it was fine. They're like, it's fine. I understand. We're all this together. I know Jim. I've lived here for 5 years. He's the good guy. He takes care of me or whatever. And some people couldn't pay rent because, they lost their jobs. They were destitute or what have you. And they're like, I just can't. I don't know what to do. I've got long COVID. I'm disabled. I can't work anymore.
Hey.
And some people were scumbags, and they're just like, hey, I'm never paying you another dime. And I'm going to give you the finger every time I see you when we're walking outside the apartment building. And so some people didn't like that. And they said, hey, I have to pay mortgage on this building and this property. I've got to pay for maintenance and upkeep. I still have to keep it livable and habitable for these folks, even though they're not paying rent or whatever. I'm going bankrupt. I better sell it to BlackRock Group or whatever.
Oh, no.
Anyway, some people sued, and then the Supreme Court ended up getting it. And I think it was beginning of the year. They said, this thing, it's temporary, so we're not going to do anything about it right now. But if it was going to extend past July, well, that Congress needs to do something about it. This can't just be some sort of executive order nonsense. That's highly unusual. You've had plenty of time to act, Congress. If this is something that you want, then you have to pass a law. Emergency powers, etc., etc. And so Congress decided that instead of doing that, for the months and probably a year they've had to do something about this, and multiple enormous pieces of legislation they had that they could have inserted something in. They just passed a giant thing, right? The bipartisan infrastructure bill or what have you. They didn't.
Did they pass that?
I don't know. I think it might go to the Senate. I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
They didn't do anything. They went on vacation for 6 weeks. They're like, no, nothing we can do. It's vacation time.
Yeah, well, it's time for our ice cream cones.
In the summer session.
Sorry, Jack.
I gotta go fundraise back in my district. Don't worry, I'll take my private jet that's lent to me by some billionaire financier in New York. There's nothing shady about this guy. He just likes to keep a lot of young girls around for entertainment.
Oh, jeez. Hey, what up, Jeff?
They all have Eastern European accents and subtly reek of depression and desperation. But yeah, it seems normal to me. Yeah, I like taking my picture with them. Hey, look. Everything is normal and sane. And they went on vacation, and then Joe Biden said, oh, well, what can we do? I know it's illegal. Basically, the Supreme Court said we weren't allowed to do it. And then everybody's like, oh, people are mad. Real mad at us for going on vacation. And in fact, one of our very, very own congresswomen is sitting like a homeless person on the steps of the Capitol building. doing some kind of stunt to draw attention to this. Even though she is a member of the body that had elected for recess instead of passing something, she could have put a bill on the floor! Damn it! But she didn't, and then she made a big stunt about it, and then everybody's like, oh, my lands, what can we do? We're only the legislative branch and the most powerful branch of the government. Oh, Joe, save us. Hey, what do you guys need? Joe, you know that thing you said was highly illegal and you couldn't do, and it was against the Constitution? Well, you need to do that. Well, I know it's probably going to get overturned in a month or two, but F it, let's go.
Come on, Jack. Oh.
And so he did. And he extended the moratorium even after he made several public comments about how it was illegal. They did the bare minimum. Contacted a Lawrence Tribe himself, who broke the attorney-client privilege and started talking about how he had represented Trump like some years ago, and that there's no consequences. So this paragon of legal ethics, they got him to say, yeah, it's probably fine. And they're like, yeah, good enough. We're gonna see if this sticks. It's slightly different. Real? Not.
Oh my god.
It imposes criminal penalties now, where none existed beforehand. It doesn't apply to everyone anymore. It's not blanket at it. It only applies to like 90% of people. So, completely different executive action, wholly legal, and it was an emergency because Congress was on vacation. Now I want you to imagine that this happened a year ago. And there's a different guy in the White House. And I want you to think what the headlines would be. And we might have had a 3-time impeached president instead of just 2. But instead it's Joe Biden, and I guess he gets a pass. With eviction victory in hand. Democratic lawmakers in Congress turned their attention to student loans. Oh, come on, indeed. Everything is fine. The president is acting outside of the Constitution to do whatever the hell he wants. But it's something that I like, so it's fine. It's only bad and wrong
there you go.
If the president is someone either from the other party who I don't like, or is doing something that I don't like. And even then, if they're from my party, I'll probably find a way to justify it one way or another.
Yes, I brought that up. I brought that up to people before, and they're like, yes, absolutely. Like, unironically, like, oh, of course, because I'm right, and he's right. Like, you don't see this issue about how when the bad person gets in, he uses his justification and precedent to do whatever he wants, which is
they're never gonna get in, Adam. We're always going to win. It's always been my party that's been in control.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm.
The only way the other party's going to win is if they do some sort of tricksiness in an election and they're going to steal it from us.
Require mail voting. That's all there is. No in-person voting.
Now for something completely relevant to this exact situation. I feel this in my bones. Oh man, I guess it's just burning down.
Yeah, it's like the thing in the beginning, right? Sorry, officers, we thought that we heard something, you just didn't report it.
Yeah. Oh, Lord save us all. And finally, Straight from Ice-T's Twitter feed, we've got your Ice Cold Fact of the Week. Ice Cold Fact. You are doing better than your haters. Period. Not only period, haters, ... period, ... There's lots of periods in that sentence, ice. But that's your Ice Cold Fact of the Week. You're always doing better than your haters. Screw those guys, man. Play your own game. And that's our show for this week. Really hope you enjoyed. Season premiere, Season 2. Season 2, Episode 1. Excellent. If you really like the show, smash like, subscribe to the channel, share this video with all of your friends. You can also follow us on Twitter. Twitter information is located on your screen. Sucks to be you audio-only listeners. I think there's one guy. Adam, did you have anything?
I'm making fun of you, dude.
Did you have anything you'd like to add here at the end of the show?
Adam's Corner, not yet.
Oh, no. Adam's Corner. All right. Then I have one thing I'd like to leave you all with.
No.
Adam. This is the soundtrack to being a 4-year-old locked in a hot car. I do janitorial work, and this is the soundtrack that has always played in my head while I scrub the toilets and empty trash cans. I'm glad that the songs were just a hallucination for my depressing job. This is like when you get your COVID shot from the homeless guy behind Walgreens.
Why?
Now that's what I call ketamine, 2006.
I know where you're coming from.
Feels like when you slept 15 hours, you're still tired.
You can call me anytime. Call me.
This is a dying from internal bleeding as a result of eating staples.
Call me any day or night. Call me.
This is what plays in the head of the carnival operator for 8 hours as he depressingly sits in the merry-go-round control room, waiting for it to end. Anyway, folks, that's our show for tonight. We will see you next time.